snap. It's Indiana Jones. Alright, so we got a training problem. Training for the Olympia, and there's going to be a Saxon Bar. If you're wondering what a Saxon Bar is, it's one of these. I don't have one. So, as usual, we're going to make one out of wood. And I'm going to take you along for the ride, so you can make one too. Today's workbench is sponsored by poverty. But it works. That's the whole point of a lot of these videos. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. 2x5 Saxon. This is a 2x6. As we discussed before, it's actually 1.5 by 5.5. We're using this old bed slat, bamboo. Thank you, IKEA. My wife said I'd never use it. Wrong again. This being a 1/2 inch thick, it's going to make this the 2 inches that we actually need. So far, only one splinter. We're doing great. All right, now that we got the lumber cut, we can start some of this assembly. And get out of all this, because it might be a little warmer in here than it is outside, but the UV index is 0. And your boy's a redhead. I'm not doing good today. All right, so this is basically everything that we're going to be using. We got all the different hardware, washers, D's, nuts. These lag bolts will be going through the center of our loading pin, which is 1.5 by 6 inch black pipe. I would rather it have been 8 inches, but hey, story of my life. I'm going to drive these lag bolts right through into the center, be here, and then also these came up a little short, so we'll drill a hole in the back, make room for the washer and the nut. Those will go there, go right through, should be plenty strong. And these big beefy ones are going to run all the way through and give us some support this way. Let's get after it. And I did also come up with a workaround for the somewhat short weight plate. If we get strong enough that this is going to need more weight, got a second piece, lock it on. And we can add extra weight that way. Use some carpenter clamps to keep everything in place. Not ideal, but it'll work. I couldn't find any that were longer, and I wasn't fixing to drive to the city to pick up something and spend all that money on fuel when an extra like 16 bucks would just solve the problem entirely. All right, I do have a drill press, but that area of the shop is a disaster. And I'm not gonna display that for everyone to see. So we're gonna do this a little more old school, plus a lot of people might not have a drill press, but maybe do have a drill. And we're trying to keep this as simple as possible for the common folk. So I do have this little thing. I'm going to use it because it is important that things get drilled straight. Just a jig. It's going to help me drill my holes nice and straight. I got my original board that I was going to use for this project, but obviously she wasn't going to last. So these big bolts that are going to run through and give us a lot of strength, hopefully through the middle, are 1/2 inch bolts. So we're going to line these guys up. Again, trying to keep her nice and straight. Put it on the speed that makes sense. Make as much of a mess as possible. And repeat. Whatever you do, don't start with a fresh battery, because that would make sense. Moving forward. And because I'm in no mood to measure anything today, I'm just going to clamp this down and use my already drilled holes as a guide. And repeat. And take a second to clean up your little workspace, because you know this animal. You are not going to do it after. You're going to come in for a workout tomorrow and be pissed off. Take care of future you. All right, finally a little bit of assembly. 1/2 inch bolt with the washers that go with them. Tight. I swear it's not my first time. All right, now we finally get to do some assembly. So Big 1/2-inch bolts. They're washers. Go down. These nuts. Washer on the other side. I'm hoping this will take some of this dirty cup. Home Depot's not known for the straightest of boards. Okay. Yeah, a little cockeyed somehow, but she'll work. Now, we're just gonna pre-drill some holes through this bamboo slat so we don't split it. Right now, all I'm gonna do is, oh, mystery blood. I take a drill bit. It's roughly the same size, and that should make a nice little countersink for this because we don't want that guy splitting the bamboo. This one is an 11/32. See how we did? If anyone cares, those are the screws. Doesn't really matter, we just don't want to go all the way through. Beautiful. All right, so now that we've added the 1/2-inch to the 2x6, it is an actual 2 inches thick, close to 5 inches. I'm not gonna get fussy about that. And if you're thinking it would have made more sense to use 2 1/4-inch pieces, you're right, but method to my madness. The idea here is that when I have my floor plate centered on the center of the main bar, sorry, the main board, when I grab, it's going to actually move my fingers a little further out, and I'm going to have to use more flexion through the fingers. So it shouldn't be enough to lower my numbers significantly. I should still be able to move similar weights, but over time, that will have a cumulative effect. And I should get noticeably stronger in the area that I'm actually lacking. When it comes to pinch on a Saxon, I've always been very vertical handed, whereas you see the best guys doing it, they do get some rotation backwards. They get some flexion. When it gets heavy, it's going to straighten them out anyway, but I suck at that. So this is a design feature that I've added in. If you want to make yours, that it's actually perfectly center, it's your board. Do what you want. Next, we're going to drill our hole over here and start anchoring our floor plates. Slight interruption. These bolts were going to be a pain in the ass because once you factor in the floor plate, everything else, they were coming up a little short. My workaround was going to be to use a Forstner Brit, about the same size as the washer, to make a space, but on this side. It's obviously going to be more problems, so I got longer bolts. Measure at least once, I guess. You know, wasn't thinking about the thickness of the flange, basically. So I marked lines where I should be centering my screw holes here, and I'm going to take this fine-tipped Sharpie and approximate where I want those to go, like such. These bolts are 5/16 by 5, and I'm going to be drilling at least my side holes with the 3/8, just to give me a little wiggle room to keep things, just, you know, because I'm free drilling and there might be some variation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'd like it to be good. All right, first I'll dry fit. I don't hate it. Could have definitely been better on this side. The other side went better. It's more important that these are nice and strong. That's why we're going with the extra long lag bolts. Try to get those straight so they don't poke through. Not a carpenter, just a dude making some stuff. And now we take this off. So we do our best to drill nice and straight, relatively as far in as possible, so that those lag bolts have a good chance to really settle in. That's about right. And repeat. Now the top and bottom leg bolts. Don't forget the washers. Beauty. Other than this, that's ugly. Now we repeat on the other side. Don't take out your light in the meantime. I'm starting to get excited. Never thought I'd be excited about doing anything related to pinch. But here we are. Maybe I'm reformed. Maybe this is the key. I also think that I kind of maybe, sort of, figured out a missing link with how I was actually rotating my hands the wrong way. When I was watching some of the really good guys do this, it's like their elbows are out this way. I think I was taught the wrong way. I was always turning my hands in, like so you can use your lats and really drive this way. But when you pinch, you want to pinch into the two strongest, and that actually allows you to use your thumb more. I was always trying to do this kind of thing. So you're leaning out onto the pinkies rather than this. That already feels, I'm excited. Let's see if I'm right. All right, I got 2 more holes to drill. We're basically there. I'm gonna attach these hooks. Oh, sorry, they're going over here. And what I'm gonna do is be able to then add chain and or band tension. So as you stand up, it gets harder and harder and harder. I love West Side, I love Conjugate. I don't know if this makes any sense for this, but we're gonna try and see what happens. Because this whole thing, might as well start calling this the Grip Lab instead of the Grip Garage, because it's all about experiments. Seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. You can discard what doesn't. I mean, these would be just simple to take out. But you never know if you don't try. I'll let you know. Now the fun part. This is why I was thinking about going with the high bolts. I actually have a drill attachment for it. But these things are way too thick for that. Got an idea. Yes, sir. Work smarter, not harder. Especially once I run out of wear. That drill bit finished. It's gonna come in clutch. Oh, bruh. That's even better. Beauty. Let's do this. All right, now it's basically just final assembly. Get these screwed in real good. Get the grip on. Weigh it, because that's important. And take it for a test run. Which again, pretty pumped about. What do you think it weighs? I'm gonna guess 36 pounds. 36.8. Let's get real specific. Comment below what you think. I can already hear it in the comments section. Why are you adding grip? Oh my God, isn't that the point? It's not made of metal. Metal's slippery. Well aware. However, it's a training tool. This isn't meant to be something in a sanctioned competition. It's just an approximation. And I like to do things where I can load up my tendons more than I'm going to do in the actual event. That's why I do my static holds without picking up off the ground when I'm doing axle. I can lift significantly more. I call them overloads. It's been working really good. And I was paying really close attention. Well, notice I left a strip up here. Nice and bare. The only reason is to protect the webbing. Again, training tool, not trying to tear my shit to pieces. It is only meant to be similar. But again, poverty. We make it work. Now this awkward little strip might just accidentally be almost perfect. And then I don't have to waste a bunch, just cutting little thin strips. All right, last chance to put in your guess. I was way off. That's not good. Although 18 pounds dead on is a great starting point. I don't have to do any funky math like 0.3 and 0.7. All right. After a bunch of little setbacks, we finally arrived at a finished product. Also great for curls to work those fingertips, work the wrists. Good for this specifically as well as arm wrestlers. Anyone trying to work that finger strength, that flexion, that containment. But first, you hydrate. As I have been, sweaty boy. Already is off to a good start. I know using the bumper plate is going to eat up more space and I could use nice thinner plates, but it also gives a little bit of stability from the rocking. The 1.5 pipe inside diameter, it's not quite 2 inches on the outside, so it could get some back and forth. Some trainers carpentry clamps. Not terrible. No brand loyalty, but Bessie clamps. Oh, not bad. Great start. I know it's late, but you got a 50-pound jump. And when you're training pinch, it's very important to get this part of your thumb because that's the part that you're going to be maintaining contact. It's not this. It's kind of kinked over because you're going to be torquing, whether you torque this way or this way. This is your main friction point, more so than in here. I'm still going to get it. Sometimes, desperation, things get ugly. I'd rather be prepared. I go, I should have. Why didn't I? Leave nothing to chance. Plate in a 25. Still good. Nice. You will still get chewed up though. 2 plates. Plus 18, 198. Yes, sir. Couple knuckle pops. Still solid. So I've actually got these end caps from a failed project from before. I was going to use them for something like a Rogue grandfather clock. Then my wife was awesome and got me a pair. So, it's looking like we'll be able to get away with 3 plates. Just throw this on and I don't have to bother with the extension. And that'll keep everything from falling off. That's not bad. Now the goal is to get so strong, we need the extension. 2 plates and a 10. Not ready for the 25-pound jump. If you train grip for any length of time, you know that when it starts getting even tough, 5 pounds can be welded to the floor. So, conservative. There's more. Something I may consider doing is taking a smaller pipe nipple and floor plate, putting it somewhere like here. Because running out of that space, although there's still room for another plate, I can't go there yet. But going from the 2 plates and a 10 to a 25 is a big jump. Throwing this on would allow me to throw on 5, 10, micro load, whatever I want without affecting the distribution of the weight. That's a tomorrow problem. Even better. I bought these 4-inch framing nails. I was going to use on this in a different part, decided to go a different route, had them anyway. Simple solution. They only have to hold a little bit of weight and they're plenty strong. What's wrong with that? Three-finger test. Almost like I've done it before. Amazing. Simple solutions. Always best. All right, so now we're at 228 and 2 framing nails, which is 8 pounds and 2 framing nails, more than I did at the Olympia. So tilting the hands this way, yes. Also, obviously the friction from the grip tape helping. Again, training aid, approximation, overload. Those are the goals. I say that when I haven't even lifted it yet. '25s are on. 248 pounds is chewing up my hands. This will probably be the last one unless it feels so good, because I'm definitely feeling some integrity loss in the webbing. And I'm not trying to get torn apart on a day where I'm just messing around. Contest is a different thing. You go balls out for a contest. In training, you gotta leave some to be desired. I will take that. 248. Great training tool. These are my chains. These will not completely deload because they're hanging so low. But they will add a challenge. I've lowered it to just 1 plate, so now we're just messing around. Now it's curiosity. Plus, isn't a bonus, being that it's at the bottom, it's going to be pulling more from the bottom, wrenching the hand this way. So again, gaining some of that flexion that I'm after. That seems to be the exact weakness, because I've been working the thumbs. Like it, keeping it. This is what I mean. You got to experiment. Try new things. Might not make sense. Try it. No, just because. Lowered it down. Try some curls. I don't have a lot of this supination. It might get ugly. But it is something I'm working on. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. A lot of this. A lot of exactly what I've been working on. Highly recommend you guys give this a try. Super simple to make. I did all the mistakes for you. Hope you build one. Let me know how it goes. If you have better ideas, put them in the comments. I'm not perfect. Not a carpenter, not a plumber. Just a dude. Likes to build stuff. Until next time, loose grip sink ships.